This is Maya. Let's get into it. Specialty medical clinics are losing 34% of their inbound patient calls to 15-minute hold times. If you run operations for a mid-sized specialty practice, whether that's orthopedics, cardiology, or gastroenterology, that 34% drop-off isn't just an annoying customer service metric. That is over $150,000 in lost revenue hanging up every single year and booking an appointment with the clinic down the street. When practice directors see long hold times, their default instinct is usually to blame the front desk staff or throw more receptionists at the phone queue. But your administrative staff isn't lazy. They are being used as human middleware. Think about what actually happens when a new patient calls a specialty clinic. To book one single appointment, an administrative worker has to navigate 4 or 5 completely disconnected software platforms in real time while the patient waits on the phone. First, they search the EHR to see if the caller is an existing patient. Second, they open a separate browser tab for a Clearinghouse or FHIR portal to check real-time insurance eligibility. Third, they cross-reference physician-specific scheduling rules because a new neurology consult takes 45 minutes, but a routine follow-up takes 15, and Dr. Smith doesn't take specific insurance tiers on Thursdays. And fourth, they manually transcribe all of that information into the master calendar. That entire process takes 8 to 12 minutes per caller. Multiply that across dozens of calls during morning peak hours, and your queue instantly backs up. Over the last 2 years, a lot of clinics tried to fix this by installing basic AI chatbots or rule-based IVR phone trees, and almost all of them failed. Why? Because generic conversational AI operates statelessly. A simple LLM chatbot can talk to a patient, but it doesn't have real-time state access to your back-end systems. It schedules blindly. It drops a calendar invite onto a doctor's schedule without checking if the patient's insurance policy is active or if that physician is actually in-network for that plan. Or worse, the bot takes the caller's information and dumps it into an email or a web form fill, forcing your front desk staff to copy-paste the data into the EHR later anyway. That isn't automation. That's just moving the queue from the phone line to an email inbox. Now, to eliminate hold times without creating administrative cleanup downstream, you need stateful digital labor. You need an architecture that acts as a real-time patient orchestrator. Here is what that looks like in production. First, the system ingests the inbound telephony stream via SIP or Twilio trunks, operating under a signed HIPAA business associate agreement with zero data leakage. Second, instead of just scripting a conversation, the orchestrator executes asynchronous API calls while talking to the patient. It queries clearinghouses via FHIR and EDI 270/271 protocols to verify real-time insurance eligibility, copays, and active coverage. Third, it pulls physician-specific clinical constraints directly from the EHR, matching appointment duration, doctor availability, and network restrictions in real time. And fourth, it writes the finalized appointment directly back into Epic, Cerner, or Athena Health. Zero hold times, zero manual copy-pasting. When you deploy stateful orchestration at the front door of a clinic, your hold times drop to 0. Your call abandonment rate collapses from 34% to under 2%. More importantly, your human front desk team stops spending 80% of their day doing robotic data entry across browser tabs. They can actually focus on in-clinic patient care, check-ins, and the high-touch patient support. Stop paying human beings $25 an hour to act as human glue between software systems that should talk to each other. Reasoning over scripting is how modern healthcare IT actually scales. If you're building multi-agent control towers or automating clinical intake, check out how we build stateful digital labor at letsaskclaire.com. I'm Maya. Thanks for listening. See you next time.